Hi, my name is Jonathan Hicks. I'm back at the Dice Cup, and this evening I'm joined by
Steve. John.
And we've just finished playing Blueprints, which is a game about building towers. So you have a blueprint, each person behind this little screen, so no one else can see what you're doing. And this tells you how many dice you need to pile on in the appropriate spaces. So I need 1 dice here, 2 here, and 3 here. Now you can break these rules and have different numbers of dice on the different spaces, but you'll get 6 points if you manage to do what it says. And that kind of gives you like a 3D view of what it's meant to look like at the end. When it's your turn though, you draw a dice out of the bag and you roll it and kind of add it to the supply, but then you're picking one of the dice here to add onto your blueprint. However, you can only put a dice down if it's the same or higher than the one before. So if I decided to take this 5 and put it on here, the only dice I can put on top of it now will be a 5 or a 6. That's quite restrictive, given that I need to get it up to a height of 3. So you've got to be careful about the different dice you take. I can put it on there though, because I don't really want to put anything else on the 1 space. So you just take it in turns, each drawing a dice and taking them going round. And as well as trying to build your building, you're trying to get points for the various colours of dice. And your little screen here summarises it. So orange gets you points for how many they're touching. So if it's touching 1 of the dice, it'll get 2 points. If it's touching 2 of the dice, you get 4 points for each of those. Greens, you're just getting points for the number of green dice in total, wherever they are in the building. You can see the points rack up quite a lot as you get more dice. Blacks, it depends on how high they are. So you can see if you get blacks right up to the height, sort of high levels, if you like here, you get potentially 8 points for each black dice in there. And the white dice, you're just getting the points for the number of pips on the dice. So every 4 gets you 4 points, every 5 gets you 5 points, etc. And now you're also then trying to go for different goals here. So this is going to get you points for having a stack of at least 5 high. This is for 4 the same number, 5 the same colour, and all the numbers from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now you just go around drafting 6 dice. All the buildings require you to put, you can see the total of 6 dice required here. And then you count up all the points from the different things you hear which go on the track here. But then once you finish doing, you can see we just finished doing around here, the points. Whoever has the most gets the gold card, which is worth 3, the silver's worth 2, and then third place is getting the bronze worth 1. So the points on here don't actually, they're not victory points at the end of the game. It's only the points on the cards that actually worth anything. So you get the first, second, third place here, but then potentially getting these as well. Only one person can take each of them though. If there's a tie, interestingly, these dice that get drawn out determine the tiebreakers. So the most black dice would win the tie, and then green would win if it was still a tie. So only one person is going to get each of these potentially. You do it over 3 rounds and count up all the cards. You can see I've got a bunch of cards here for the end of the game, and whoever has the most points at the end is the winner. What do we think?
I like it. It's a dice drafting game. You've got some visual 3D awareness, and what you're trying to do is you're trying to aim for 2 different sorts of point cards. If you just try to make the best building you can, brilliant, you get those 3 points, but the winning score here was 11. So if you get 3 points, then 3 points, then 3 points, I would have lost to our 4th player and I would have lost to Jonathan, who both outscored that. So you're not only trying to make a decent scoring building for the kind of the best building bonus, you're also trying to get one of these as well. So you're trying to get like 5 of the same colour or 4 of the same number or something. In which case you're trying to also draft what other people aren't drafting. So if you can say, well, she's taken a green, Jonathan's taken a white, well, they might be going for 5 of that particular colour. So maybe on my turn I take a black, even though it doesn't necessarily score me my best building bonus here. If I get a big stack of blacks, maybe I'll score loads for having really high blacks, and I'll get the tower. So you've got a lot to think about, but there is that luck of the dice. In theory, you can always pick out the bag and roll the exact thing you need, but rarely will you do so. You find often, towards the end especially, the high numbers are good, because the high numbers will still fit in people's towers. So at the end of the game, there's a lot of 1s and 2s, because a lot of people just can't take them. If you're after that 4 or 5, someone else is going to take it in front.
John?
Yeah, for quite a small game, there's quite a lot to it. I like the 2 different separate score piles, kind of best building or the separate objectives. I like that on the card, even though it says, oh, this is the building, this is your blueprint, you've got the freedom to really build whatever you wanted. If like building a tall tower or something would be better in that situation, depending on what's drafted. But overall, I thought it was okay. Really, it was nothing special, but it wasn't a bad game, so probably a good 6 out of 10 for me. Yeah.
Okay, Steve,
I used to like it a lot more than I do now, because Sagrada supplanted this for me. The decisions in Sagrada were just much more demanding for me on my turn, effectively, and you can kind of plan what's going to come back to you. Here you just kind of hope something's there when you get there. So I'm just going to rate it a 6 as well.
Okay. I like it. It's definitely not as thinky as something like Sagrada, but if you want a lighter kind of dice placement game, it still does give you interesting decisions. As you say, do you try and go for the different sorts of goals? Are you trying to get as many points as you can? You've got to watch what other people are drafting, because if someone else is taking orange dice, you don't really want to be fighting them for them, or you're going to get very few orange dice. So that's nice. It's quick, doesn't take too long. I think it's a great package. I'd be on a 7 out of 10. All right, thanks for watching. That was Blueprints.